I'm on the final repeat of this bit of the pattern before I do the ribbing on the sleeve. But I've added a new level of fun to Yarn Chicken in that I dropped the ball down the side of the sofa like last week, and so I have no idea how much is left, and I'm just leaving it there and I'm not looking, I'm not checking. I should have enough because I used the smaller of the two that I had left for the other sleeve, and I had more than enough because I did a few rounds with that ball on this sleeve before I started this ball, so I should have enough. But it's kind of fun. It's you know, another layer of gambling. This is where I pull it and it's the end, and I haven't got any ribbing. Ooh, living life on the edge. When you're diseased like I am, then you gotta get your kicks somehow. I fought the Yarn Chicken, and the Yarn Chicken won. There, that's where it ends. I am 3 rows into the cuff. It needs to be 20 rows. So I'm going to go through my scraps, see if I can find something that is like white with a few speckles in it, and just have a funky cuff. I might take back this and just have the whole cuff. I might take it back to the decreases because I don't want to undo the decreases and do that bit again. I might just undo the ribbing and have a funky cuff. And I was risking it. I do remember I deliberately picked a size that would use as much yarn as possible, and it did. And I think also I messed up. I think I made one of the fronts a bit too long, and then I had to make the other front a bit longer, and then that meant I had to make the back a bit longer to compensate. But it should have worked though. It really should have, because this was the bigger ball. So unless my tension's totally different, or maybe my stitch count was totally different from the start, which is possible. So I didn't make any notes, and I live life on the edge. I just make it up as I go along. Who knows? This one's getting very stressed with me coughing, because my coughing is very bad sounding. Meh. Sometimes life is straightforward, but sometimes you just need to chase the light. it's sort of done. I've run out of yarn. Just put the last one in. It's holly. And I've got to here. Part of me, because it's a scrappy project and it is mostly going to be worn around the house, just feels like I should just cast off there. Because what does it matter? Part of me wants to dig through my scraps, but I know I'm not going to have any DK in there, or I have very little DK, and I'm certainly not going to have anything. So I do kind of want to have one last row, like the whole row in one colour, because that would, you know, just finish it off nice. And also, weirdly, although that is probably my favourite colour, I love a green, especially holly green is my specified green. If someone asks me what my favourite colour is, it's green. If you're being particular, a lovely rich dark green of a holly leaf. But weirdly, I don't think I've got any scraps that would be similar. I also think, oh, I could maybe contact Suzanne. I'm sure she'd be willing to attempt to dye something similar. But I don't need much. It would be like less than 5 grams probably. Because it's 20 gram thing. So half a row. But yeah, it probably is like 5 grams. If that. So... But, because it's scrappy, I also really don't hate the idea of just leaving it as it is. Obviously casting off, I'm not going to leave it on the stitch marker for the rest of its life. That'd be stupid. Or would it? I'll click it on the here. But we will have proper things when it is done. Finished War and Peace day before yesterday on Audible. That's 51 hours. I'm not getting back in my life. Glad I did listen to it. I didn't listen to it wholeheartedly. There's definitely great swathes. I was half listening. Or just listening to the rhythm of the man reading it. Probably more that. But that's fine. I don't mind. I'm on a hiking trip by Jenny Blackhurst, which is starting off not good. And I think the previous one of hers I read was The Final Wife, I think was hers, which was phenomenal. Really kept you guessing. Really fast paced, really good. And then this one's a bit of a downer. This one's a freebie. I think The Final Wife might have been a freebie, to be fair. But I can't remember. Or maybe that's what they do. They hook you in with the really good one and then the rest of them pants. Who knows? We'll see. I'm about to take the pooch out because it keeps squeaking at me. But this is it. This is the Blooming Lovely zigzagular shawl. Get ziggy with it. Get ziggy. I don't know. Ow! No. I thought it might be in the project bag, the pattern. Christ knows where that is then. But it's been the, oh my god, past tense now for this project. Blooming Lovely by Green Lampkin Yarn. Suzanne, she's fabulous. She's on YouTube, makes fabulous things. We love her. She loves colour. And it is all based on flowers, which I low-key love. So it's got various stitch markers on to point out different months that I worked on it, but I'll probably take them all out now. But it's going to be mostly worn. Oh my god, like this. Cozied up on the sofa, watching a film, having a knit or a crochet, or pottering about the house because it wraps around quite fabulously. Or if it's particularly freezing cold outside, but I think it is meant to be tomorrow, so I may wear it out tomorrow. I think it's meant to be, it's meant to be dry, isn't it, at the weekend, but cold. Because it's not something you'd want to cope with, because it's just huge. So I better weave in the ends, I suppose. and cut them off. Work out what I'm going to do with this. It's a fabulous pattern. I wholeheartedly recommend it. It is designed for 4-ply. I don't know what hook size it suggests, but I used a 4.5 hook because I was doing 4-ply. No, I wasn't doing 4-ply. That's the point. I was doing DK. So that's why mine is huge. Because in my head I was like 24. It's not 24. It's 48. It's 4 times 12 or 12 times 4. Depends what way you look at it. But yeah, it's fabulous. It's lovely. You've got spring tones. You've got gorgeous, vibrant summer. You've got autumnals. And then you go back into the winters. Not gonna lie, not 100% sure it's fully cooked. It's got a wobble. It has sunk a little bit in the middle, I think, since it's come out. But it's crisp. It will set, I suppose, and continue to cook as it sits here, maybe. I don't know. But we have lemon meringue pie, which probably doesn't look very exciting, but once it's cut open, it'll look glorious. Now, on to dinner. Vibrant spinach, coconut and paneer curry. Yeah. Ignore this spot here that keeps bleeding. I keep picking at it. Who cares? And also ignore the fact that it's Saturday and I'm wearing a Sunday jumper. But in a classic edition of I ain't got that but I got this, I've got kale, not spinach. So I'm just going to pick all the leaves off and use that. Oh, that's what I got. I was really annoyed because I don't like buying this sort of thing. I want it as it is, please. Don't mess with my food. Why are you taking stuff out? 'Cause if you're taking stuff out, you've got to be putting stuff back in. That's how life works. And usually if you take the fat out, you're adding salt or sugar to replace it. I don't know what's an standard one, to be fair. But yeah, because you've got to have something to give flavour and add to the preservative, because that's essentially what all those things are. So, but that's all they had. Unless I wanted to pay 3 times the price for the branded one. And I was like, nope. Don't care about it that much. Which is sad. Boo. Actually, and to be fair, why do they do this? Why is it like every paneer recipe you'll ever find will specify you need 250 grams? They come in 200 gram blocks. Bah. And my chili's really dark. So dark. Look how dark that is. It's insane. There you go. That's an update in my life. I really need a wee. Oh, I need half a lemon juiced. The ones in the front. Oh, I've got enormous lemons actually. I mean, this isn't even one of the biggest ones. Like, comparison is like insane. Where's like a normal sized mug? This is my lemon. This is very round and fat. The other one's a bit more longer and bigger. I need this apparently. Right, I need a wee. Now I'm going to start this. I'm also going to play my lemon. No, I'm not. Bye. Right, I need someone to know. I've just done a really grown-up thing. I've changed my insurance, my car insurance, because it was on automatic renewal. I completely forgot to have a look at it. That was 2 weeks ago. It automatically renewed, so I've been in car has been insured, not a problem.
But I needed to change it because a few years back I was really skint, so I had the absolute barest minimum insurance you have to be legal. So basically, I think it was if I caused damage to other people, that was covered by the insurance, but any damage I did to my car was not covered by me. Which at the time, no, I did need it for work then, obviously. I did. But yeah, at that point in my life, I was absolutely skint. I had nothing, no spare money whatsoever. Like, everything went to mortgage bills and like food and just barely living. And it also meant that I'm not covered to drive other people's cars with their permission, which hasn't been a problem. No one's needed me to do it. But it is also kind of handy to have as an option. You know, if you're out with someone, they become unwell, unable to drive, whatever. There was an instance at work where I very nearly had to go with someone to the hire place. They were going to hire a van, and I was meant to drive their car back. At the time, I said, yep, fine, yeah, not a problem. And then a few weeks later, just so happened to be flicking through my documents and saw, in like big words, you were not insured for other cars. I went, thank God I didn't actually have to do that, because that would have been illegal. You know, it's all well and good thinking, you know, I'll be safe. It's only 2 minutes up the road, but it depends who else is flying around that corner that could potentially hit you. And I wouldn't have been insured. And I'd have been in deep doo-doo. So thank God that never actually happened. Thank God that the hire place was shut. And eventually, I can't really remember that day, but it was crazy. But anyway, and I was meant to change it. My last insurance, I just kept renewing it with them, completely forgetting that I needed to up it and pay more money so that I could have better cover. And because it was always like super cheap. It's like, oh, of course I'm going to stick with these guys because it's £175, and the quick compare is it's £250. Forgetting that, of course, I had the really cheap basic. So I've now just changed it, and it was so easy. I didn't have to phone anyone. It was brilliant. So I was really scared that I'd have to phone them. But I've done it, and now I'm going to treat myself to ordering some new tea. Yeah. Armad tea. I had their tea advent a couple of years back. Delish. And I've had a couple of tins of their majestic tea and garden tea, I think. Absolutely a delish. them. This is a field that normally houses sheep that looks like a friend of mine. Genuinely, it's his face on a sheep. But today, it's deer. Of all things. Mad. What a fantastic walk. Old Peg, New Peg, both of which are from Sainsbury's. This one was bought 4 years ago, this one bought this week. Shrinkflation has affected our clothes pegs now. Ah, it really is a cost of living crisis. Look at my pegs.